Hello everyone, my name is Surya Wijaya, and today I will talk about the story of the habit and the behind of the habit. You can find the sources of this video in the description down below. So let's begin. What if I told you that the reason you have mainly fresh bread this morning was because 100 years ago there is a advertised named Claude C. Hopkins was having trouble to selling a brand of toothpaste. He need to convince people that brushing their teeth should be a daily routine and back then it wasn't for most people. In the end, he was able to get public people to pick up a new behavior and repeat it every single day and buy money for his toothpaste. His toothpaste is Pepsodent, and he is advertiser from Pepsodent. How did he do it? He do it by tapping into neuroscience and decoding the awesome power of habits. And back to the Claude C. Hopkins and his toothpaste sim, Claude realized habits have three key ingredients. The first one is a cue, second was a behavior, and the third one is a reward. A cue is something that triggers a behavior, like how the alarm clock triggers you punching the snooze button for a couple times in the morning. Cloud got people thinking about that shiny film of your teeth in the morning. Thanks to the bacteria that colonize your mouth overnight, the sticky film is the cue that triggers brushing behavior. And what was the rewards? Cloud convinced people the film would make their smile look ugly, and prettier smile was the reward for brushing teeth in the morning. Cloud understand that with the right cue and the right reward, you could entice people to do just about whatever behavior you wanted, like tooth brushing in the morning every single day. But what he didn't know that rewarding behavior was actually create a craving, and this is what makes habits so strong. Scientists know that special neurons in your brain can fire and give us chemical rewards such as dopamine. But what is weird is that once a habit and a reward are tied together in our brain, those rewards neurons start firing even before you do the behavior. This is what causes craving and why habits are so hard to break. Claude knew a prettier smile would be a reward that would make people brush a tooth every single day in the morning. But but he did not anticipate that over time people would subconsciously start craving the minty tingle that you use every single morning. That is Pepsodent, his brand, left in their mouth. People's brain actually start to crave toothbrushing. And that is the story of the habit from Claude Hopkins. So let's start the habit itself. You can probably think of a few of your own habit. We know habit as a thing we do automatically, tasks we do subconsciously, like walking or cycling or something else. And there is a ton of things that technically count as habit and they can be good or bad. So why do we form a habit and how do we learn a new ones or we kind of erase the old habit? If you have ever taken the same path to school or work, then you will likely have that pathway burned in your brain embedded in your brain. You can probably walk or bike it without really paying attention to the road, but not paying attention to the road is dangerous, of course. Habits are built in similar way. A new neural pathway are formed when you repeat a behavior, and the more a brain circuit fire, the easier it becomes for our brain to do whatever that circuit control without consciously thought, like go to school, or go to home, or go to work. Things back to how you learn to ride a bike. At first, riding a bike is tough, of course. It is your first time to ride a bike. You have got to learn how to pedal, balance, and turn left or right all the same time. You have to consciously think about each action. This happens in the area of your brain called the prefrontal cortex and the part associated with complex thought. But eventually, after you write enough, you no longer have to consciously think about each individual action. Riding a bike has become a habit, and now it's controlled by different parts of your brain. One area involved in the habitual behavior is the striatum, which is actually release chemicals that inhibit the complex thinking part of your brain for that task. This is your brain being efficient by turning down your brain's thinking requirement for riding bike. So, how you can train yourself to pick up new habit and like a workout in the evening or eat apple every single day or eat vegetable in the every morning. And if you got a new bad habit, can you break it or are you stuck with it forever? Scientists used to think that our brain didn't change at all much once we reach adulthood, like concrete once it's solidified. But it turns out your brain is more like a clay. It is super flexible organ. The chemistry of your brain is constantly changing as you go about your day in response to everything from learning to moving to hunger. These chemical release are short-lived, but over time, if the same behavior are repeated, the physical structure of the brain is actually changed. You create a neural pathway, and because the neural network has changed, so does the way the information flows. When a behavior is repeated often enough, a habit is formed. Also, there is a famous idea that a new skill is learned by putting 10,000 hour of works. But I think it is not that simple, right? The amount of time differ hugely between tasks and between people. It is different. What is for sure is that when it comes to making a habit, whether it is learning a guitar or riding a bike or such as meditation, there is simply no substitute for repetition. The reason bad habits are so hard to break is because you have literally woven new network neural into your brain that doesn't go away overnight. So give yourself a break. And if you are trying to change a habit, know that it is usually best to try and replace bad behavior with a new behavior instead of just trying to erase the pattern altogether. The good thing is that now have the power to change your brain. It is easily to brush your teeth every single day in the morning, like before in the first section of this video. I think that's all. The story about habit and the behind of the habit. And you can find the sources of this video in the description down below. And goodbye.